It's looking beautiful already. Wow. Man, these set decorators did a nice job. Oh, I didn't see you there. Well, hi everyone. Tyler Suter here. Man, this video is going to be the best video you guys will have ever seen, because this year, 2024, marks the 60th anniversary of when Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, hit the airwaves on December 6th, 1964, as part of the General Electric Fantasy Hour. As a kid growing up, I adored Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, so much. And I'm pretty sure everybody out there, out on YouTube, did as well too. So join me as we celebrate the 60 years of a very certainly special red-nosed reindeer who made our holiday traditions always popular here in America. And that would be Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, and I wouldn't have been here today if Rudolph weren't here either. So, enough chit-chat. Let's get on with the celebration.
An hour-long adventure musical for you and your family. Presented by the General Electric Company, makers of world-famous portable home appliances, clocks, health, beauty, and floor care products.
Wrapping gifts can be fun, gives a feeling of joy to everyone. Christmas time is almost here, with General Electric gifts to add to the cheer.
Here's the gift for the 25th for every girl who wants a curl.
A General Electric hairdryer in this fashionable new travel case.
Touch-up curling is an easy chore, dries much quicker, and what's more, it pampers your hair with professional care at home or away.
What weighs a little over 4 pounds?
And is packed with cleaning power.
The new GE Portable Cleaner. Cleans up,
Cleans down.
cleans all around. Does bare floors too, so order fast.
For Christmas giving, it's unsurpassed.
Let's think of her kitchen and make it supreme.
It bakes like an oven, toasts like a dream.
A General Electric Deluxe Toaster Oven.
Select a shade and your toast is made. Heat frozen food if it suits your mood. And think of the ways to serve canapes.
Now for the one gift that's 2-in-1, a new deluxe can opener with knife sharpener. Easy to operate, easy to clean. Compact design, see what we mean.
Takes a minimum amount of kitchen space.
A gift you'll find could never be replaced.
So when you buy the hairdryer,
The portable cleaner, the toaster and deluxe can opener, you'll agree.
The most Christmassy gifts you can give come from General Electric each year. The most Christmassy gifts you can give come from General Electric each year. So stop all your guessing. You have our blessing. Here's everything we'll show you here.
here's the gift for every husband or wife. A General Electric cordless knife.
Just guide it as it slices turkey, roast or cheese. No cord on the handle, use it anywhere with ease.
Complete in its recharging storage case.
Another gift we do confess will bring you years of happiness.
A General Electric blanket.
Just set it, forget it, for comfort and safety. You said it.
Keeps you cozy all night through.
Adjust with temperature changes.
Automatically too.
For the gift of good coffee, so easy to brew. Give the General Electric coffee maker that counts the cups for you.
A coffee maker that's really versatile.
And for easy cleaning, it's completely immersible. A Another suggestion welcome everywhere.
Reward the family with the best home dental care.
A GE automatic toothbrush.
Available in a travel kit, too.
For cleaner teeth and healthful gum care, use this toothbrush anywhere. 4 million people use it today.
Give the blankets,
The toothbrush.
The coffee maker.
and the slicing knife.
Then every day will be merry as Christmas all through the year. The days are passing rapidly. Soon there'll be presents under the tree. General Electric, you'll agree, will please the most, we guarantee.
And now from Santa's sleigh, a gift you'll admire every day.
This General Electric kitchen clock.
It looks like a teapot,
But we know it's not. Makes any kitchen wall
a real beauty spot.
Give a gift everyone needs.
The GE portable mixer.
With 3 speeds.
It mixes the heaviest batters with ease.
Blends lightest sauces in a breeze.
Add this optional extra, and it sharpens knives, too.
Here's the General Electric skillet with the high dome lid.
Give one for Christmas, you'll be glad you did.
Be the toast
As host, when you serve this roast.
All the dishes you can prepare right at the table are beyond compare.
Another great gift you will see is famous for its versatility.
The GE spray, steam, and dry iron.
Just tilt and tell, then iron with ease. This water window is sure to please. Ironing is easier than ever before. When you give her this iron, we know she'll adore.
So wrap the mixer and the iron.
Wrap the skillet.
And the clock.
Settle back and be of good cheer.
'Cause the most Christmassy gifts you can give come from General Electric each year.
Here's a bright idea for a perfect gift. The new General Electric shoe polisher with buffing wheel action that shines professionally. It's easy to use and there's no mess. Connect applicator with just a flick of the switch, then use the special brush to polish and buff to a brilliant, long-lasting shine. It's so new and different. A gift Dad will particularly like and the whole family will use it. Your choice of the deluxe kit in a handsome oak chest or the compact model. The GE Fantasy Hour has been a presentation of the Housewares Division of the General Electric Company, who join our Rudolph storyteller, Burl Ives, and the entire cast in wishing you all a very merry holiday season.
While there are many reindeer in the North Pole, there's only one red-nosed reindeer, Rudolph.
I love this Christmassy time of year.
Sam the Snowman's pocket watch never changes time throughout the show. It always reads 2 o'clock. Yukon Cornelius discovers the peppermint mine on his 3rd prospecting attempt.
Peppermint! What I've been searching for all my life!
All of the elf characters in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer have 4 fingers. It seems 4 was the magic number. Yukon Cornelius' sled is pulled by a poodle, a cocker spaniel, a Saint Bernard, a dachshund, and a collie.
Look! Like this. Watch.
In 2008, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was restored for Blu-ray. Enhancements were made to both the audio and picture, including the removal of scratches and artifacting.
Jingle, 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 you will hear my sleigh bells ring.
Ho, 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 we are Santa's elves. There's always tomorrow for...
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer features 7 original songs that were written for the special.
We're a couple of misfits, we're a couple of misfits.
Silver and gold, silver and gold.
When Christmas Day is here, the most wonderful day of the year.
Have a holly jolly Christmas, it's the best time of the year.
The Santa puppet stood 8 inches tall. Santa's sleigh is pulled by 7 reindeer at the end of the special. According to the song, there are usually 9 reindeer.
You know Dasher, and Dancer, and Prancer, and Vixen, Comet and Cupid, Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all?
In 2006, the original Rudolph and Santa figures were featured in an episode of Antiques Roadshow. Pre-renovation, they were valued at $8,000 to $10,000. There are 11 voice actors credited for all the voices in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Rudolph's red nose was originally created using a 12-volt light bulb painted red. In 1998, a deleted scene was uncovered featuring an instrumental break in We Are Santa's Elves. It has been included in the special ever since. Though he appears quite large on screen, the Bumble Puppet stood 14 inches tall.
My name's Clarice. Hi.
My name's Rudolph. Hi.
Hi.
Janice Orenstein was only 15 years old when she recorded the voice of Clarice.
There's always tomorrow for dreams to come true.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer has been recorded by Bing Crosby, the Jackson 5, the Wiggles, the California Raisins, Alvin and the Chipmunks, and the Simpsons, to name a few.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.
In the 1965 broadcast, the song We're a Couple of Misfits was replaced with a new song, Fame and Fortune.
Fame and fortune, fame and fortune, we're off to seek them now. Anyone can have them both if just pick the right number.
Production for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer took place in the United States, Canada, and Japan. Rudolph did not revisit the island of misfit toys in the original broadcast. The scene was added a year later after a letter-writing campaign.
What's that? Is it?
It sure is! It's Santa! Look, Rudolph is leading the way!
You can see his nose from here.
There are 20 bells that make up Donner's Jingle Bells.
Here they'll go. They are not just reindeer. They're the fastest deer I know. Ho, ho. Seems elves have that certain knack for toy making. All except for this one misfit.
Hermie is the only elf without pointed ears. 22 sets were built for the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer production. Sam the Snowman was voiced by the legendary Burl Ives. By 1964, Burl had 23 film and television credits to his name. It takes 24 frames to create 1 second of filmed animation.
Ho, ho, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, kiss her once for me.
All of the characters in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer were built with joints so that any part of their body could be moved, including their eyes, mouth, and ears.
Now you come to elf practice and learn how to wiggle your ears and chuckle warmly and go hee-hee and ho-ho and important stuff like that.
The song Silver and Gold was originally intended to be sung by Yukon Cornelius, before Burl Ives was brought on board to play Sam the Snowman.
Silver and gold, mean so much more when I see.
Magnificent!
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was recorded in English, Spanish, French, Dutch, and Japanese.
Magnifico!
The first draft of the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer screenplay was finalized on October 28, 1963. The same actor provided the voices for both Donner and Coach Comet.
Now, don't worry about your nose, son. Just get out there and do your stuff. Remember, you're my little bug. My name is Comet. And even though I'm your instructor, I want to be your pal, right? Right. My job is to make bucks out of you, so let's go.
There are 30 teeth in the abominable snow monster's mouth. In one of the original drafts of the story, a stork delivered Rudolph to his parents.
We'll call him Rudolph.
Rudolph is a lovely name. Rudolph.
Hey, he knows his name already.
Screenwriter Romeo Muller also penned scripts for many other Rankin Bass holiday classics, including The Little Drummer Boy, Frosty the Snowman, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Rudolph's signature nose glows in 33 shots in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I don't know.
Get away! Get away from me!
My red nose.
We may be different from the rest.
Quick, douse the light.
More!
It's my nose again. Who will see my nose and get us off? I am?
Yes, sir. You and that wonderful nose of yours.
My nose, sir?
Ho, ho, ho. Power!
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was originally shown as a part of the General Electric Fantasy Hour. At that time, Rudolph characters were also featured in GE commercials. Producers Arthur Rankin Jr. and Jules Bass worked together for 35 years and were responsible for many hit specials, including Mad Monster Party, The Little Drummer Boy, Frosty the Snowman, and The Year Without a Santa Claus. An instrumental version of Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree can be heard during the reindeer game scene.
Now, don't worry about your nose, son. Just get out there and do your stuff.
The opening sequence features newspaper headlines from New York Herald Tribune, Chicago Sun-Times, Daily Mail, Daily News, and San Francisco Chronicle.
All out for elf practice!
The voice for Boss Elf changes dramatically in the elf practice scene. It is believed that a line was added late in production and voiced by a different actor.
It's for Santa. And a one, and a two, and a three.
That sounded terrible.
Jon Favreau, the director of the 2003 film Elf, took different inspirations from Rudolph, most notably with Buddy the Elf's costume design. Originally, Sam the Snowman was envisioned as a roly-poly, nicely Johnson type character. Sam became a more folksy narrator when Burl Ives came on board. Gene Autry was 41 years old when his single for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer first hit the charts.
Whatever you said. Independent.
Rudolph is actually voiced by a woman, Billy Mae Richards.
I am not just a nitwit. Just because my nose grows.
Her name is misspelled as Billy in the end credits. There are 43 animals featured in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. 1 fish, 2 rabbits, 2 raccoons, 2 owls, 2 squirrels, 2 birds, 3 baby birds, 3 polar bears, 3 seals, 5 dogs, and 18 reindeer. The yearly broadcast of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer runs 44 minutes long. Five dogs and 18 reindeer. The yearly broadcast of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer runs 44 minutes long.
Or a choo-choo with square wheels on your caboose.
During the end credits, the Misfit train is dropped out of Santa's sleigh without his signature caboose with square wheels. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer holds the record as the longest-running Christmas television special.
How would you like to be a bird that doesn't fly? I'd swim.
The misfit bird who doesn't fly actually learns to fly during the end credits. He can be seen flying out of Santa's sleigh without an umbrella parachute. Rudolph's name is mentioned 48 times in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Rudolph, 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 Rudolph.
Rudolph.
Rudolph, Rudolph.
Rudolph, 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 Rudolph.
Rudolph, Rudolph.
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 Rudolph. Rudolph. Rudolph.
Oh, Rudolph, Rudolph,
Rudolph.
Rudolph, 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 Rudolph.
Rudolph, 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 Rudolph,
Rudolph. Rudolph.
Rudolph,
Rudolph,
Rudolph.
Rudolph, 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 the red-nosed reindeer. You go down in history.
Inspiration for the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer special came from the story by Robert L. May and the song by Johnny Marks. As of 2014, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer has been broadcast on television for 50 years. The original airing occurred on December 6, 1964 at 5:30 p.m.
And what do you think is its legacy?
Why its longevity?
Well, its legacy. What does it mean to you, and what do you think it means to other people?
To me, it means my first success, my first hit in the business, which established our company and our careers based on that, and allowed us then to make other films. And of course, after Rudolph, everybody wanted a Christmas film like Rudolph. So in a business sense, that was great. So we would call Frosty the Snowman owners, or Little Drummer Boy, or any of the songs that we wanted, and we would tell them who we were. We would receive instant recognition and able to buy their songs because they saw that Rudolph was a big success and that might pull their song up, etc. Anyhow, you can understand that. As far as I'm concerned, I'm grateful that the audiences liked Rudolph and gave me that chance to progress in our career. And as far as the longevity of it, I'm amazed. I'm amazed because, like the man said, nobody knows anything. And that's true. You really take your best, all of your emotions, and you try to make the best film you can, and some fall by the wayside, and some become successful. And by successful, I mean long-running. Frosty the Snowman, which is linear animation, is also very successful.
Are Rudolph and Frosty among your personal favorites, or are there others that are less successful that you prefer?
I have to say that I don't have any favorites. I think I have some I don't like, but all of the ones that have been successful are favorites of mine. I have to be like a parent. I can't choose.
Now, I bet you're wondering why I have my suitcases in the shot. Because not only this is a celebration video, this is also a traveling video too. We are going to Kennywood Park because this year Kennywood Park has the holiday lights, and they've even added a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer attraction, a meet and greet experience where you can meet Rudolph, Clarice, Yukon, the Bumble, and of course Sam the Snowman, all in one place during the holiday. So here are some commercials to keep you guys occupied, and I will see you guys at Kennywood, like from the old CBS shows that they used to do. After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hope I don't miss work this Christmas.
Yeah, how will you pay for things like food, electricity?
Ooh, bingo bills.
Gadzooks! You need a backup plan. That's why we have Affleck.
So I'll have cash to help pay bills.
Right, but what if you're still not better by Christmas?
Affleck! Ask about it at work. Rudolph's better. But now Blitzen's sick.
We're on the island of misfit toys.
Hey, check out the new guy.
What are you doing here? You can download apps and browse the web.
Yeah, people will love you. You're gonna fit right in here.
This holiday, it's the 3G coverage that counts. So give the gift with 5 times more 3G coverage than AT&T.
Decide what your holidays will look like.
You guys have got to see this one. It's so funny. Where is it? Here it is, right here.
Oh, I love this stuff.
Oh, it feels fantastic.
Wait for it.
Decide what your holidays will look like with Bing.
Silver! Ugh, gold!
Gee, do you think we're gonna make it?
Oh, my back!
Poor Cornelius. What he needs is some hot yoga.
Oh, ginger snaps!
Decide what your holidays will look like with Bing.
What the?
Welcome to the My Nissan Gift to You sales event.
Wow, for me?
Covered in sleigh bells, gifts for everyone. A Pathfinder for Yukon.
Silver and gold!
An Ultima for the elephant. Even a Sentra for Santa.
What about your reindeer?
What about them? Ho, ho, ho!
Lose yourself in the spirit of the season with an 8-payment holiday and great deals on Versa Note, Sentra, and more.
Oh!
Hello there! Welcome to the My Nissan Gift to You sales event, ma'am.
I thought elves made toys.
Oh, we still make toys!
And Sentras. And Versa Notes. Everyone's asking for a Nissan.
Even him. Wrap up the savings during our Boxing Month event. Your first 6 payments are on us, and great deals on Versa Note, Sentra, and more.
Stand back, you hear? Break out the syrup, because Denny's new fluffier, tastier, better Rudolph pancakes are here for the holidays.
Oh, hello! Can you help Santa with a new data plan?
Sure thing. Right now you can get 15 gigs of data for the price of 10. That's 5 extra gigs for the same price.
Looks like someone just made it to the top of the nice list.
In that case, I want a new bicycle, a bike helmet, a basketball, a stuffed animal that talks when you squeeze it, and...
I got your letter. We're good.
Oh, okay, I was just making sure.
Get 15 gigs for the price of 10, now at AT&T.
Hi, I need the new iPhone to play my reindeer games.
Aren't you cute? Right now, if you get any iPhone, you can get an iPad mini for an amazing price.
iPad mini, nice!
So what are reindeer games?
Angry reindeer, doodle reindeer, flappy reindeer.
Oh, so like regular games with the word reindeer added to them.
Huh. I guess so.
Buy any iPhone on AT&T Next and get iPad Mini 2 for $99.99 at AT&T.
That's right. We are offering 15 gigs for the price of 10. You, sir, are welcome. Oh, and to you, too.
Get 15 gigs for the price of 10 at AT&T.
More stuff in here? Looks ready for another coat? These toys are good to go.
Ho, ho, ho! Work is coming along splendidly. They'll be ready for the party in no time. Oh my, naughty children are becoming nice. Cancel the pool party. Need more toys.
More toys!
Meet the new Windows Phone. Meet the new Windows Phone.
To celebrate Rudolph's 60th birthday. So this is the Rudolph Reindeer attraction here at Kennywood. Are you guys ready? I'm ready. Let's go.
I love this Christmassy time of year, especially when everything is running happy and smooth. Nothing like that year of the big snowstorm. Ooh, I don't know what we would have done without Rudolph. Lend an ear and I'll tell you about the most famous reindeer of all. Now you know how Santa uses flying reindeer to pull his sleigh? Well, it all begins at the reindeer games.
Fireball, you're up.
You can do it, Fireball!
Fireball.
Good try, Fireball.
Hi, Clarice.
Hi, Rudolph.
After practice, would you walk home with me?
Uh-huh, Rudolph. I think you're cute.
She thinks I'm cute! She said I'm cute!
Not bad. Not bad.
She said I'm cute!
Crying out loud!
Look at the beak. Nice schnoz. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
All right now. Everybody back to practice. Except you, Rudolph. No more reindeer games for you.
Leave him alone.
Now, Rudolph isn't the only misfit in Christmas Town.
Hermie! Put away that book! You're an elf, not a dentist!
And elves make toys.
I just don't like to make toys.
Hermie doesn't like to make toys.
Hermie doesn't like to make toys.
Hermie doesn't like to make toys.
Shame on you!
Clean up this mess or you're fired.
I'll never fit in. I'm Hermie.
I'm Rudolph. I hope you don't mind my red nose.
Not if you don't mind me being a dentist.
Whatever that is, I don't mind.
The abominable. He must see your nose. Quick, douse the light.
As everyone knows, beware of the abominable snow monster of the north. He's mean, he's nasty, and he hates everything to do with Christmas.
Oh no!
Hold on tight.
Who are you?
The name's Yukon Cornelius, the greatest prospector in the north.
We're trapped.
Oh, no, we're not. Watch this. The Bumble Snow Monster has one weakness. He sinks.
Oh! It's my terrible nose. I'm putting all of you in danger.
Nonsense. It's all for one and one for all.
And we're all in this together.
Look, he's carrying a spotted elephant and a choo-choo train with square wheels.
He must be trying to find homes for them.
Poor Rudolph realizes that he can't endanger his friends any longer. Time passed, and Rudolph was growing up. And growing up means you can't run away from your troubles. He knew where he had to go. Home.
Mom? Pa? I'm home.
Why, Rudolph, they've been gone for months, looking for you. Clarice, too.
Gone? I'll find them. I'll find them all.
Suddenly, it hit. The storm of storms. And only 2 days before Christmas Eve. To find his family and Clarice, Rudolph knew where he had to look. The cave of the abominable snow monster.
Put her down!
What do we do? We can't let that monster get a hold of them.
I got an idea. Listen.
Yeah.
Clarice, are you okay?
Oink, oink, oink.
Put some heart into it. That bumble's hungry.
Oink, 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 oink,
Wahoo! All right, dentist, you take it from here.
It's Yukon Cornelius!
Ta-da! In person?
Yeah!
Don't let this big blowhard scare you anymore.
He's nothing without his choppers.
Yukon! He's gone!
Well, they are all very sad at the loss of their friend. They realize that the best thing to do is to get safely back to Christmas Town. And when everyone hears their story, they realize that they were a little hard on the misfits, and they made sure they felt welcome.
From now on, everyone will be welcome in the reindeer games.
Open up! It isn't a fit night out for man or beast. Here's the man, and here's the beast.
But you went over the side of the cliff!
Didn't I ever tell you? Bumbles bounce. Looky what he can do.
Impressive! Wow!
Nice!
Quiet, everyone. I have some bad news. Christmas is going to be cancelled this year. There's nothing I can do. This murky storm. Rudolph, could you tone down that nose of yours? That beautiful, wonderful nose!
Huh?
Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?
It will be an honor, sir. Yay, Rudolph! I would like that. What do you think? You're a great fighter!
Ready, Rudolph?
Ready, Santa?
Up, and away!
Well, folks, as for the rest of the story, he went down in history. Follow the bouncing snowball. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history.
Here at Bent Image Lab, we had the great opportunity to reimagine the classic, beloved, special Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer as a 4D experience. Much of what we did was invent new scenes and exciting moments that would take advantage of the possibilities of the 4D technology. Just like the original, it's all animated using the stop-motion technique. Our studio started doing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer type of work. We kind of got to be known as the keepers of the style.
Oh!
Not bad.
4D is a kind of an experiential attraction film. In addition to it being in 3D, the 4D part of it is there's these other sensory experiences such as chairs that vibrate, wind, fake snow, odors, this and that.
Stop motion animation has this certain believability and certain accessibility to people.
I think the appeal of stop motion is that it is very much made and animated by hand.
Ready, Santa?
Being sort of patient and detail-oriented are good qualities to have.
Clean up this mess or you're fired!
I've been prepping for this job my whole life.
This is one of the coolest things we've ever worked with.
In animation, most of your editing is done up front. Typically what you'll do is build a kind of roadmap that is storyboards, and they're turned into an animatic, which will give you a sense of timing, and you've worked out very carefully what these characters look like. Once the animatic is done, our puppet makers and set fabricators build everything based on very specific guidelines in order to match the original Rudolph.
We're trapped!
I think the biggest challenge is really getting those models, those characters to look right. Beginning with sculpting a character's head.
Ready, Rudolph?
Building the bodies, making all the little costuming. The whole world knows what the Rudolph characters look like.
If you look at the original and you look at this, it's an identical match.
It's Yukon Cornelius!
Ta-da! Once the lighting, camera, sets, and puppets are all in place, that's when the animation starts. Stop motion is probably the most time-involved form of animation and filmmaking in general. We had about 12 animators on different sets.
It really is like a stage play in slow motion, frame at a time.
Depending on the shot, you may only get a few seconds a day.
The key animator works with the director and finds out what's happening in a particular shot, then is responsible for animating the characters.
I don't have to be as good an animator or be as good a photographer, but I need to know what they're doing and how to guide them to get what I envision for the project.
The director does all of the coaching and walkthrough and blocking and test, and then you just have to leave the animator alone, and it's a straight-through performance.
Didn't I ever tell you? Bumbles bounce!
Talented animators will give you things that you didn't even imagine would be in there.
Sometimes it's the imperfections. If you see a piece of fabric or you see a character, maybe you see a little bit of a fingerprint on it or something that brings it into reality, brings it into something that's being worked on by hand. I think the work that Rankin did in the 60s is kind of a point where things changed, and so a lot of people who work in stop motion today or have since then, that's a point of reference.
The animation for its time was outstanding.
It was really revolutionary. When it initially aired, it blew people's minds.
I think we're able to create much smoother animation today. That is largely due to the tools that we have. Today, they have ways of recording things digitally so an animator can see where they are in the course of building a shot.
We can flip back and forth between what the camera's seeing live and then the last frame shot. So it makes it a lot easier to sort of toggle back and forth and go to the next one.
And you'll often hear when you're on set, the sound is click, 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 click. And that's the sound of animation happening in stop motion.
Yes, we incorporate computer software and digital cameras and cutting-edge technology, but part of it really comes down to moving a character a little bit and taking a frame. Part of it hasn't changed that much at all.
But you went over the side of the cliff!
There's an armature, which is the skeleton that has joints in it, and that's what we use to get the different positions. And this is silicone, and inside his hands, there's wire.
When you have a scene with several characters in it, typically it's just one animator on set.
After practice, would you walk home with me?
In the wider shots, I'm having to animate maybe 4 or 5 of the reindeer at a time.
Are you okay?
Luckily, we have software now, so that helps us keep track.
Ooh. Once the animation starts, there's just something really magical about seeing these characters living and breathing.
We have always wanted it to just feel like those characters has always existed.
Put her down!
And to make sure that anything we did with them was kind of in keeping with their nature. We're all in love with the characters in the first place.
Getting to animate Rudolph, I just felt like it was a privilege because he's such an iconic character.
I'll find them all.
I think Bumble and Yukon Cornelius are probably my favorite ones to see animated and watch.
In person?
Everybody loves the Bumble. Everybody knows who he is, too.
In the show, he's not so fun. But at the end, he kind of gets very endearing.
Impressive!
He's almost like a teddy bear.
He's very hard to animate because he's a big puppet.
The characters have foam rubber on the inside, so you're moving a lot more mass.
I always love when an animator captures that character.
Both Shell and I have this deep-seated interest in keeping the characters authentic.
It's all for one and one for all.
And being very, very true to what Rankin Bass did.
Oink, oink, oink.
In stop motion, you kind of use all the techniques that were available. We did do some pretty interesting things that were really fun. For instance, when the Bumble's chasing the sleigh, we created an old-time wheel set where the set's actually on a cylinder, and the cylinder is slowly turning as the characters are running. Very reminiscent of what would have been done, you know, in the 50s or 60s.
The tricky part of it is you're not just making something. You're making something that needs to look exactly like the original.
You can look at all of the very unique and small things and see that we've tried to be as close to the original as we could. I have no idea how they made their snow, but I sat down for hours and hours mixing snow formulas until it broke exactly the way it broke when Sam came down the hill. You can see him pushing and you watch the front edge and you see that snow break, 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 break. And again, complete observation. One of the things that was kind of fun about the 4D movies, we got to see them actually fall off the cliff.
Didn't I ever tell you? Bumbles bounce!
Yukon!
It's fun to add things that weren't in the original. Rankin Bass did a very good job at creating environments and sort of a vision for a world that seemed to be its own world.
A lot of it was really stylized, really fanciful, cartoony art direction. It's perfect for Christmas because you're in that world of toys coming to life.
When I adapted the story, I really wanted to stay very, very true to the original.
I just don't like to make toys.
It is such a great story. It's one of the great television screenplays I think ever written. The themes that are in the original Rudolph are timeless. They're as relevant today as they were back then.
I'll never fit in.
It is such a classic hero's journey.
It's like every kid that felt left out.
Shame on you!
Crying out loud!
Generally speaking, everybody likes Rudolph.
He's like the guy that wants to fit in so badly.
Look at the beak. Nice schnoz.
He's subject to ridicule,
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
prejudice,
No more reindeer games for you!
bad weather, and a snow monster. And somehow he comes through it all,
He realizes I am what I am.
and in a selfless way, he's able to save Christmas. We, as viewers, have an enormous amount of empathy for his struggle. It is important to preserve the Rankin and Bass project and to pay homage to them.
They were pioneers.
They're really good at character development, character design, and storytelling.
Open up!
Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?
I'm old enough to have seen the original first airing of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Rudolph came into the mainstream in a way that nothing else had as far as stop motion.
I grew up watching the show, and I can quote the lines verbatim.
Rudolph really was the big one.
Yeah!
And it really makes you appreciate the story, the characters, and the music.
I feel indebted to those guys. I've been able to pursue my dream of being a stop-motion animator, in part because of what they did.
I really gravitated to that stop-motion form, and I think part of it was just bringing toys to life.
Basically, we play with dolls for a living.
That actually really was part of the appeal of it, to take something that people really love so much and something that is yearly tradition and update it.
I'm home!
have it accessible to the kids today and then future generations.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. Team Rudolph and the Reindeer Games, adapted by Joe Troiano. Chapter 1, The Reindeer Games. Santa looked at the map on the wall of his shop. South Pole at the bottom, North Pole at the top. So many good children, he said, scratching his head, all waiting for me, all asleep in their beds. So many places to go, so many places to stop, so many chimneys and stockings and towns and rooftops. I need to fly faster and further each Christmas Eve day. I need to find 8 great reindeer to pull my sleigh. Santa sat by his fireplace watching the flames, going over the list of good girls' and boys' names, when an idea came, and Christmas Eve would never be the same. The idea that came was the Reindeer Games. A day of activities, a challenge, a test, a friendly competition to find the best of the best. Santa would watch the games that day and then pick the 8 that would pull his sleigh. Clang, 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 the bell in Santa's hand rang and rang. Santa turned to the reindeer and said with a grin, "It's time for the Reindeer Games to begin. So good luck, try hard, only your best will do, and I'll pick my team when the games are through." Santa watched as each reindeer took a turn. Some were good, some were better, some had a lot to learn. But there were 8 that were better than good. They were great. One dashed like a flash across the sky. One danced on top of each cloud passing by. One pranced proudly as she flew higher than high. One mixed in some tricks which caught Santa's eye. One reindeer could rocket and then stop on a dime. One loved flying and flew in a very straight line. One's hooves roared like thunder whenever he'd climb. One flew fast as lightning time after time. The Reindeer Games were over and done. Santa called out, "Gather round, everyone. It was hard to choose, you all did so well. But I've chosen my team, and it is time to tell." And then Santa waved his hand, called out, "Ho, ho, ho!" And the names of 8 reindeer appeared in the snow. First, Dasher, then Dancer, then Prancer and Vixen, then Comet and Cupid, then Donner and Blitzen. 2 girls and 6 boys, the best of the best, the reindeer who passed every Reindeer Games test. Each one was proud to be picked. It was an honor, you see. But being chosen also came with great responsibility. They had to pull Santa's sleigh. They had to make it soar, faster and further than ever before. From the North Pole to the South Pole and every place in between, they had to all work together. They had to work as a team. So, those 8 great reindeer met every day and helped each other get ready to pull Santa's sleigh. Comet coached Prancer till she could stop on a dime. Cupid taught Prancer's twin brother Dancer to fly in a straight line. Dasher and Vixen practiced in good and bad weather and knew right away they'd be together forever. Donner and Blitzen raced day after day, flying faster and faster and further away until they knew they were ready to pull Santa's sleigh. Then Christmas Eve morning, Santa came to say, "Today is the day you will all pull my sleigh. Donner and Blitzen will be the first 2 in line, so follow their lead and you will all do just fine. Remember, my friends, remember one thing. It's not just toys we deliver while Christmas bells ring. Peace, love, and joy are the gifts that we bring. Now it's time to get ready. We've got a lot to do. The children are counting on me, and I'm counting on you. So I'll see you tonight, and we'll follow a star and spread the spirit of Christmas near and far." The stars were bright and the sky was clear, and those 8 great reindeer had nothing to fear. So they pulled Santa's sleigh that Christmas Eve night and were back at the North Pole by first morning's light. And around the world, boys and girls woke up and were happy to see stockings were stuffed, gifts were under the tree. It was Christmas morning, just as they dreamed it would be. Chapter 2, The Legend of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. A year had passed since that starry night, since that Christmas Eve when all went right. And something unusual had happened. How? Well, nobody knows. But a reindeer was born with a ruby red nose. His name was Rudolph, and his nose was a sight. It wasn't just red, it glowed like a light. Donner, his father, thought Santa might say, "No red-nosed reindeer is pulling my sleigh." So every time Santa came around, Rudolph covered his nose to make it look brown. One day, during the reindeer games, Rudolph met a pretty little doe. Clarice was her name. And when she told him he was the cutest one there, Rudolph got so excited he flew high in the air. Not bad, Santa said, watching Rudolph fly past. Rudolph was happy, but that wouldn't last. Because when Rudolph and his friends were clowning around, Rudolph's false brown nose fell down to the ground. Now everyone could see Rudolph's real reindeer nose, the one that's red, the one that glows. The does and the bucks all backed up in fear. Even Blitzen's son Fireball wouldn't come near. Rudolph stood all alone, holding back a tear. Then Fireball called out for all to hear, "He's Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer!" The other reindeer teased Rudolph. They laughed and made fun. Rudolph got so embarrassed, he started to run. Rudolph ran into the woods, and he didn't stop till he heard something nearby go plippity-plop. An elf named Hermie had popped out of the snow. He was hiding in the woods so no one would know. He didn't want to make toys like the other elves did. He had wanted to be a dentist since he was a kid. He was a misfit. So was Rudolph. They were two of a kind. So these new friends set off to see what they could find. What they found was a creature, a giant, a fiend, an abominable snow monster who was meaner than mean. He tracked them by following Rudolph's red nose. He would watch where the glow was, then go where it goes. Then Yukon Cornelius came round the bend. These two lonely misfits had found a new friend. He was big and brave and as strong as 10 men, which was good, because the abominable snow monster had found them again. Yukon knew the monster was a bumble, and bumbles are mean. And this bumble was the biggest he'd ever seen. It chased them, roaring a terrible sound. Thumping its chest, its feet shook the ground. Rudolph ran with his friends to where the ice ends. They were trapped, or were they? Well, that all depends. With a mighty swing of his miner's axe, Yukon whacked the ice, which started some cracks. And just as the bumble got to the bay, the ice broke free, and they floated safely away. They floated to the island of misfit toys. Toys that needed homes with good girls and boys. An elephant with spots, a plane that can't fly, a fish bird that swims, a doll with tears in her eyes, a flying king lion, a Charlie in the box, and a caboose with wheels that are shaped just like blocks. Rudolph promised that when he saw Santa again, he'd ask him to please find homes for them. You see, Rudolph knew he couldn't stay. He knew his red nose would give them away. His friends were in danger while he was around, so he left that night without making a sound. But back in Christmas Town, the news was grim. Rudolph's parents and Clarice were out searching for him. They were gone. They were missing. They had to be saved. Rudolph was sure they were trapped in the Big Bumble's cave. And Rudolph was right. That's where they were found. The Bumble had Clarice in his clutches. Rudolph yelled, "Put her down!" And then Hermie and Yukon arrived in a sled. They tricked the Bumble and dropped snow on his head. Hermie had to act fast, and before a moment had passed, he pulled all the bumble's teeth. He was a dentist at last. Then Yukon tamed that bumble. Now he's sweet as can be. So Santa let the bumble put the star on the tree. But they still had a problem that Christmas Eve. The fog was too thick for Santa to leave. Christmas will have to be canceled, Santa said with a sigh. Then Rudolph's nose started glowing, and Santa knew they could fly. And as Rudolph's nose glowed redder than red, Santa smiled, then chuckled, and finally said, "Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?" "It will be an honor, sir," Rudolph said loud and clear. The elves and the reindeer began to cheer. Then the elves packed the presents into the sleigh. It was time for Rudolph to save Christmas Day. So he guided the sleigh through the fog that night, with his ruby red nose shining brighter than bright. From city to city, from town to town, from rooftops to chimneys that Santa slid down, they raced through the fog till the night was done, till every toy had a home, even the misfit ones. And now, whatever the weather, Santa knows Christmas will never be canceled, thanks to brave little Rudolph and his beautiful, wonderful ruby red nose. Chapter 3, The Epilogue, Team Rudolph. A year had passed since that foggy night, when Rudolph's red nose had shined so bright. Santa was reading the list of good girls and boys, and Mrs. Claus and Boss Elf were counting the toys. And just as Santa read the last name, Comet came to discuss the reindeer games. "I was wrong last year," Comet said, "wrong as rain. I should have let Rudolph join in the games. This year will be different, different, I say. Every buck, big or small, can join in and play." "And the does," Mrs. Claus said, "they can do what bucks do. And the elves," said Boss Elf, "and the misfit toys, too. And the bumble," said Yukon, bursting in through the door, "because this bumble is humble now, not like before." "Okay," Santa chuckled, "consider it done. The reindeer games are for everyone. Bucks and does and elves and toys, and humble bumbles and good girls and boys. Anyone and everyone can join in the fun. Just do your best, and you've already won." "We'll all join Team Rudolph," Santa said, filled with pride. "We'll all work together. We'll all play on one side. We'll treat everyone as members. Treat everyone as friends. Treat everyone with kindness that just never ends. Because just like the snowflakes that fall Christmas Day, we're all different and amazing in our own special way. So come one, come all from near and far. Come shine your light as bright as a star. Come celebrate the amazingly wonderful you that you are." So Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen all joined Team Rudolph that snowy December. You can join too, if you always remember to shine your light as bright as it goes. Shine bright, so everyone knows you're as special as Rudolph and his ruby red nose.
Rudy, please!
Thank you everyone for celebrating my 60th anniversary on the TV airwaves. Merry Christmas to you all, and to all, a good night.